since you born. Then you live and die. So if tomorrow never comes, it comes at no surprise. Looking death into his eyes, yeah, I witness guys start to recognize, analyze their own demise. Some people wasting time, walking around hypnotized, blinded by success, impressed but can't identify what's real with fake because the money just intensify. Jealousy plus the hate that equals genocide. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Life on Diagonal. I'm your host, EJ Briz, and I know I got the same outfit on. Look, I'm doing like 2 episodes tonight, so this is a different. Yeah, I got the same clothes on, the same fit. As you can see, my Acura representative. Um, you can find this and other hoodies and t-shirts, hats, all them goodies at www.thehealinghyenas.com. I'll put all that in the descriptions. Also, make sure you check out Thought Ops. That's my other podcast with Still Biz. Hey, is there anything else I would like to say? I think that's it. So on this episode, I want to talk about how I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready. And so this is talking about my mother's passing. So my mother, she developed Alzheimer's and dementia. And we saw small signs of it before it got real bad. And when it got real bad, it got real bad. So the reason why I said that I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready, is because if any of y'all out there that have dealt with Alzheimer's and dementia, and my mom had kidney issues too, so put that in there too. You see how I have a problem saying this word, deteriorate. So I think I said it right. I always have a problem pronouncing that word. So you see how it just tears a person's body down physically and mentally and emotionally. And I'm not gonna lie. And I hope I don't sound blasphemous, but I felt like the last couple years of my mother's life that she was cheated out of her last couple years because she didn't really know what was going on, and her quality of life just dropped. It was hard the last time I saw my mother because she didn't recognize me. I've taken training where they talk about how you should deal with somebody with Alzheimer's and dementia, and like how you shouldn't I don't want to say confront. I'll say confront, or you don't want to, when you approach them, you don't want to approach them like face to face. You want to kind of, approach them from the side. And I forgot all about that. So I mean, that's my mom. I was happy to see her. So um the last the last physical living image I have of my mom is my mom just being in shock and backing away from me and being scared of me. And it bothers me. Because my mom didn't recognize me. She didn't know who I was. So it bothers me. One thing I can say, she never got my son. She remembered that. She remembered that little boy. It's crazy because she didn't remember who I was, and she would talk to me on the phone, but she would ask me about my son. So I mean, I guess that's, if I'm looking for any type of positive out of the situation, it's like she never forgot that little boy. So, so me, I would have conversation. I would talk to my mom every day.
before it got to the point where she couldn't talk on the phone. She didn't remember me. She didn't even know how to hold the phone. And I remember having conversations. I'm not gonna share like some of the conversations with I had with my mom because it was a lot, and I just kind of want to keep that what we talked about between me and her. Um, but I remember the first time she told me, she was like, I'm tired. I just can't live like this anymore, and I got mad. It's like you live with your mother, um, been around your mother all these years and for your whole life, and that's the last thing you want to hear your mother say. And I'm like, no, you have um grandchildren, you have kids, you have family that love you. Like, you have to um, you have to be there for them. And me thinking back, it was real selfish of me for me to sit there and respond that way because I didn't know I can't explain, or I didn't understand what my mom was going through. So it was real selfish of me for me to respond that way. And I could just only imagine what she was dealing with, what she was going through on a day to day basis. So, um, in my early 20s, I worked at a cemetery for 2 years. So, at the cemetery, we dug graves, we buried people. Um, so, I was around death for like 2 years, dealt with funerals, funeral directors, and I know it sounds creepy, but it got to the point where me working at a cemetery burying people was just like a regular 9 to 5 job, like how everybody else has. Like some days we would have 6, 7 funerals a day. So um, as I seen how the Alzheimer's and dementia was taking over, where it got to the point where she couldn't drive anymore. The doctor told her she couldn't drive. Um, it was like, man, I hate seeing my mother like this. Seeing her not being able to eat, you seeing her body change, her losing weight, um, her just not being herself. And it just, I was like, man, selfishly, I was like, man, my mom is she's going through it. This has to be torture, and I'm just ready for her to go. I don't want to see my mom like this. I don't want to see my mom live like this. I felt like, she deserved better. And she was just a shell of herself. I would go visit her, and I was like, man, this is not my mom. This isn't my mom. This is a different version of my mom. And a lot of stuff that I'm telling y'all right now, uh, I was selfish. I was selfish at the time dealing with this because I was just thinking about my point of view and not thinking, you know, about her point of view, or just taking the time to grasp everything and spend as much time with my mother as I could, and I regret it. Um, it would be times where I'm like, man, I don't want to go see my mom because I don't want to see her like that. I don't want to see what she's going through, what she's dealing with. Um, it was to the point where I didn't really want my son to see her like that because my son was young when it first started, and as he got older, I had to explain because he would ask me certain things and I would kind of just brush it to the side and everything, like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. But then as he started getting older, I had to explain to him that, Meemaw, that's what he called my mom. Like, Meemaw is sick. And I remember when I got the news that my mom, they actually wanted my mom to go to hospice, but well, actually, her kidneys started going bad. So they wanted her to go to dialysis. She was like, I'm not doing dialysis. Um, so basically, she was in palliative care. So we knew it was coming. We didn't know when, um, but we knew it was coming. And so the whole time I'm dealing with this, I'm like, man, I'm just so ready to, like, for my mom just to go, because I'm just tired of her dealing with this and me seeing her like this and me experiencing this. And while I'm feeling that way the whole time, I should have just been embracing it and loving on her and doing the best that I could to be around her. But selfishly, me thinking about myself, I wasn't. And I totally regret it. And, with me working at a cemetery and being around death all the time, I felt like, man, when my mom passed, whenever she passed, I'm gonna be able to handle it because I worked at the cemetery, I worked around death. I'll be able to handle it. And that was a lie. That was a total lie that I was telling to myself. Total lie. Because when I sat there in that room holding my mother's hand as she passed away, and the doctor came in and flashed the light in her eyes and told her she was gone, it was a feeling that I have never experienced in my life. Like, after my mom passed away, I sat there with my mom for an hour after she passed away, to the point where I'm holding her hand. I could feel her hand get cold. And it's just like, man, I thought I was ready for this, and I wasn't. I truly wasn't. And I live with it I try not to beat myself up about it, but I live with it every day on how much I regret me being selfish, because I wanted to remember my mom how she was when I was growing up, and not spending the time that I had with my mother. And I truly wish that I could get that time back. Um, it's like it's unexplainable unless you've been through this situation before. I can't explain it to you. It's a rough situation. It's a rough situation. I think about it every day. Every day since my mother passed, I think about it every day. Some days it's hard for me to even sleep because I think about the time that I missed with my mother while she was here, how I could uh, got a hug or got a kiss. Um, just listening to her ramble about stuff that's not even there. And it's hard. It's hard. And so, a lot. It's a lot. And sometimes when we dealing with a situation where we think we're ready, and then it happens, and then we realize, like, man, I was nowhere near ready. And I just sit back and just try to, help myself think about the good times I had with my mother, all the laughs we had. I still have voicemails from my mom that's on my phone, so I listen to the voicemails. I get emotional listening to them, so I try not to listen to them that much. I still have flowers in my house for my mom's funeral. I'll talk about that on another episode about my mom's funeral, and how that affected me too. How I thought I was ready for that too, and no, I wasn't ready for that. I don't think nothing. I'm just speaking for myself. I don't think anything could, ever prepare you for losing a parent. And I know I'm probably gonna get some backlash from this or whatever, and this is me, and I'm a father. And maybe I'm saying this because I haven't lost my father yet, and I have a strained relationship with my father right now. But I feel like there's something different about losing your mother than losing your father. And that's just my opinion. I can't be wrong. Because, with a mother carried you in her body. You had that connection with her in her body. So I'm not gonna lie, like a piece of me, a piece of my heart is gone because my mother is gone. So for those that haven't lost a parent or haven't lost a mother and you're watching this, and I'm saying this like because Mother's Day is approaching, so I know it's gonna be rough. If you can, spend as much time as you can with your mother. Love your mother, hug your mother. If she get on your nerves, just deal with it. Just cherish your mother, because it's gonna be a day when she's gone, and you're gonna look back at every moment, every minute that you could have spent with her. I'm like, oh my God, I could have spent this moment with my mother instead of doing this. Or, I felt like I had 10 more years to do this with my mom, and now she's not here, and now I realize I don't. So cherish your mother, love your parents, and do the best that you can to spend as much time with them. Thank you for watching another episode of Life on Diagonal. I'm your host, EJ Briz. Peace.
Think about it. First you born, then you live and die. So if tomorrow never comes, it comes at no surprise. Looking death into his eyes, yeah, I witness guys start to recognize, analyze their own demise. Some people wasting time, walking around hypnotized, blinded by success, impressed with